Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by. Kids, we get to listen to the UK's entrepreneur, Tom Allen. He is the man, the myth, the legend, at least in my brain, and also in his brain. Tom Allen, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, brilliant to be here, Ken. I really appreciate it. It's good that we made this happen. And like we were talking, it's a lot of stuff to go through, man. I'm sure we're going to crack into some great topics today.
A lot of stuff. By the way, you had me at that accent too. Yeah. Once again, this is Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're hanging out with Tom Allen, who happens to be the founder of the AI Journal. I do some contributions for the AI Journal. I like this guy because he's not one of those guys who just started doing AI. He's been doing it well before all the gurus started. So, Tom Allen, tell me your story real quickly. Tell us a little bit about your background, and then we're going to get into you being an entrepreneur, what you have going on, and how it can add value for all our entrepreneurs out there. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, sure. So I guess it starts with how I built the platform, which is, as I was mentioning, as a marketing role for an engineering company. I was working there and seeing some kind of applications, a lot of hardware, a lot of physical things that they were building. Amazing team, and by no chance am I or any part of me an engineer. I'm a marketing person through and through. I worked at agency before that and worked in marketing team before that as well, and that's where my whole brain kind of opened up to the idea of what AI can do and searching for more information. And one thing led to another. I couldn't really find many sites. I'm not saying it didn't exist, but I couldn't find many places to have opinions and to share knowledge. And there was a lot of news about stuff happening. Not so much back then. It was more on like the automation side, like RPA, intelligent automation. And that's what led me to create the AI Journal and just started building it. And one thing led to another, had lots of ups, had lots of downs. And here we are today, still going, nearly 5 years on. So.
Yeah, you learn from your downs. I totally get that. And obviously you're young and you're a smart whippersnapper, I can tell you that. All right, so let's get into the AI Journal because I think it's brilliant. Why don't you tell the business model, and who knows, maybe some of our entrepreneurs out there can, adopt something like that, or who knows, maybe even decide to do some writing for you as far as the AI Journal works. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Well, would love to have anyone that wants to come on the platform and write, share their expertise. It's always welcome. That's one of our big values, that we let everyone have a voice on our platform to speak around different things and different areas, such as yourself, Kenneth, talking about tax, right through to other people who talk around big data, to other people that talk around quantum, to other people that talk about it within the education sector. So it really gives you a breadth of different information on. People like to categorize AI as just AI, but it's a massive topic. And yeah, the business model, I mean, it's more if there's, it didn't start it to be a business. I really didn't. I started it to be a passion project and something that I thought would just be my own little space that might grow into a blog. And, like you said, the ups, you learn a lot more from the downs than you do from the ups, 1,000%. And that's why they're so valuable, and to try and take those in good stead and understand them, because that's where you've developed character and become a lot better, in my opinion. I've got a long way to go yet. I'm not talking like some seasoned veteran, but there's a lot to build with this company to prove the value I think it's got. But really thinking through like how content's changing. And that's something I've kind of had my mind shifted to, thanks to one of our business advisors, Sam Leach, who's a great dude, really saw something in what we're building. And Steve Smales in America, they kind of pointed me in a way and suggested things that I wouldn't have spotted. But content was something I've always been quite keen on understanding, especially the written side. And I think platforms like ours are really challenging how content's pushed out. We don't really focus on news, but we focus on strategies, tools, frameworks, ideas, suggestions, innovations, and how companies can do better. And we're really not interested in the fast news cycles. We're interested in the deeper dive, at least that's what I'm interested in. People can freely write about what they like. But and having different voices. Like there's no one that I would, if if there was someone that disagreed with someone else on our platform, I'd tell them to come on our platform and tell them why they disagree and have very healthy debate discussions. And I feel that's something that's really important in business. And, to have those disagreements, healthy disagreements, but also can make you see a bigger picture that you might not see before. So I'm going a bit off traffic, but our business model is really simple: more content, helping more people, and supporting businesses who want to access that audience is probably how I'd summarize it.
Yeah, your business model is perfect. I mean, it's perfect from someone who wants to be a content manager.
Yeah.
If they're writing about artificial intelligence, they really, in my opinion, should be on your platform because it's a voice. People are going to be, going to your voice as it becomes more mainstream. And then if someone wants to learn about artificial intelligence, maybe not daily news, but if they want to know about strategies, et cetera, that can help them as an entrepreneur or even as a personal user, just a normal consumer of
Right.
artificial intelligence information, it really is a no-brainer. And I don't think yet there's enough information out there about artificial intelligence, which is crazy. You would think nowadays there would be, but it just isn't. I think yours is a means to getting the voice out there of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
It, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a big thing at the moment, right? With media, like you're saying there, like how to get more access to information. I have a very strong feeling about this, and I don't. It's something I'd tell people. Like I don't take any of my information. A lot of my information I don't take from news channels anymore, and that's not saying they're not valuable or whatever. And this is a personal opinion that the way I looked at AI and tech, and a lot of it was RPA as AI journals getting started. That was a big hot point before LLMs came on the scene at the end of September 2022, October 2022. And they were obviously around before then as well, but that's when it got into the mainstream. People would be able to use it for free. And my point being, I always thought, who am I or who is a journalist to tell me a story about something quite complex and quite topical like what you write about, Kenna? How am I going to be the person that tries to interpret your story and interpret what's going on? It just made no sense to me. And I think that way of communicating, of having people that are, you see it within evangelists in companies, you see it within content creators, thought leadership models. It really is the way forward because at the moment you've seen someone that does something and sticks to it and proves it time and time again, you want to go listen to them. And I find it very hard with what's happening at the moment to listen to a journalist who has no experience in that area of work. And some do. Like I'm not saying all of them are bad and whatever. Like there's some brilliant, talented journalists like Matt Levine at Bloomberg, great column he does. And there are those areas, but I also think those people that are in those areas want a platform to write on. They want a space to tell their thoughts and ideas. And that's why you see people get very influential on Instagram and places like Beehive, which is a newsletter platform, or Substack, because they can tell a story. I don't know if I summarized that correctly, but that's what I tell entrepreneurs to think about. People really want to hear honest, raw stories and feedback, and it builds a lot of trust, showing who you really are. Like you can't bullshit who you are over. I don't know. At least in my mind, actions speak a lot louder than words, and I think that's something people should think about. Yeah,
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, Big Tom. What's your background? You're a wicked smart guy. I could tell. What is your background? Where'd you go to college and stuff?
I went to Nottingham Trent University.
I don't know why I asked that because I don't know where that school is. But you're an English dude.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I had a really bad, I had a really interesting career, school track because I got picked out of my school at Brunswick School. I got asked to leave because I didn't get good enough grades. And
College or high school?
high school, so it was a private boarding school, and my parents weren't too happy at the time. But I didn't get the grades to stay on into upper sixth, which is like year 13. And yeah, I did really badly in my GCSEs, which I kind of guess are like your SATs or your like entry level, like what you'd take at 16. And yeah, I didn't do very well. And it's very bizarre, kind of, because now if I could go back, I'd have so much curiosity about how these things work. I mean, I'm embedded within, like, just out of pure passion in like physics and reading Richard Feynman's books and reading things on Big Bang theories and how universes work. Like, I love it. And
Dude,
had no interest in it.
like you, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I left there and then I went to college. I went from a like quite privileged private boarding school to college in Birmingham, Matthew Bolton, which was great. But, you know, it's a place where they have security on the door, and there was a lot more bad things happening on a regular daily basis. It was very much in it for yourself, and met great people there, great friends, and then I went to university after that, so I had good of a time, and that's where I kind of leaned into what I was doing.
I understand. And then, so you really found this by kind of by mistake. You've had your ups and downs, but so it's a little premature for me to ask this. But what's kind of on the future? What's going to happen with you 10 years down the road? Let's just say.
Oof. I've got a vision for what would happen. Obviously, we're building up several media companies at the moment, which are going to tackle different areas of technology. So, one like the Silicon Valley's Journal, that's going to be very, as you might imagine, focused on the Bay Area and what's happening in Silicon Valley and the startups that are coming out of there, and maybe up towards yourself, like towards Seattle and that sort of way. Um, and there's like a feeling for me, Kenna, to create my first startup that's not in the media world. So that's something I'm exploring. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go over the next 10 years, but I feel with our model and with the way we're going, it's quite long. It can be quite long lasting, and it's really not there to be a business model. It's there ultimately just to help people and serve people, and to give people more insight. So it's a good question. But 10 years from now, I'd hope reaching more people. I would like to hear more stories of it helping people get a career in this world, connecting people like you were mentioning with communities and areas like that. There's a lot of work to be done, a lot of things I want to do, and to build it up. But most importantly, I always say the reader is our number one customer, because they're the ones that drive everything we do. And I just love hearing people's stories, the connections I make out of it, the stories I hear about it, the companies I get to see, the invites I get to understand how these different companies work. And my big itch at the moment is I get to see all these companies. I actually want to go create one myself. So that's a big push. Hopefully in 10 years, I'll have a nice, well thought out business flourishing in a sector outside of media alongside owning these, and yeah, having some brilliant people in place to run it on day to day, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So then, obviously, as we've talked about, you've had some peaks and valleys, but now you're successful from the sounds of it. I'm going to give you the "you've been successful" tab, by the way.
Thanks.
What would you say is the number one reason for your success? Now, I'm going to throw some things out. Is it because, well, you're really smart? Is it because of marketing? Is it because of, you've been able to take advantage of technology? What would you say has been the reason for your success?
Well, there's a long way to go.
I know.
Collaboration is the number one point, and that's the number one thing that you see all the big companies doing at the moment. Like, they have big partner ecosystems, because there really is power in collaborating, and you get new ideas, you get new products, you get new customers, you get new contacts, you get new things. And I think it's quite hard at the moment because people have got used since COVID to be in this digital world where they don't have to actually go out and meet people, and it's a bit of a shame. But that's probably been the number one thing that I generally just have a passion to. I'm a network connector. Like, it's what if I was in a job and was hired by someone, I wouldn't be a salesperson. Maybe I would. I'd be a mix between sales and marketing, where I can connect the right people to get something awesome done. Like, that's probably how I'd sum up what I can do. I can sweet talk things and understand what people want out of a deal, or want out of a situation, or out of a project, or out of a thing. And I like to think that's one of my strengths. And where I'm going with this, a big success is learning from failures. Like, and we're still having failures from time to time at the moment. There's still a lot of things wrong, and they're great. I mean, anyone that I like the idea of failing fast. It's a very common thing, but and I don't know about failing fast. Like, I had a lot of failures in 2023, and I was learning. I was failing fast, but I wasn't recovering from them fast. It took a while, and I was thinking, where am I going wrong? And I think as soon as I took the focus away from what I want and what I want to build and how I think the platform's so amazing, and just focused it on the reader, focused it like what we were doing in 2022. I really don't know how I got out of that, because I was trying to change the business model. I'd always say collaboration. Anyone that's collaborating and really championing other people and making them feel good and doing small gifts of kindness and acts of kindness and helping out or connecting you to someone that they need to be connected to. And sometimes it leads to awkward situations, doesn't work out. But for the most part, people can tell you're just trying to be helpful. And I think it's a big actions always will speak louder than words to me, always. And you can say you're a good person, but and I'm sure there are a lot of people that are, but what you do is speaks 10 times louder than what you say. And I think that ties in with the collaboration point. And that is been a big pillar of my success and the success that's going to come our way. And it will be what I structure how I learn from all the failures coming my way as well. And you get quite excited about the failures because you think, look, it's it's not a failure, it's character building. It's understanding what's going to happen.
Yeah. Or it's a learning process. One of the two. I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
It's not a failure as long as you learn from it.
Yeah, totally. As long as somehow you're benefiting from it, it's not called a failure. I mean, and I agree with your collaboration. I don't think enough people want to collaborate. What's in it for me? I think there's a downside when you look into it. What's in it for me? But if you collaborate, 1 and 1 equals 2 normally, but it ends up being 1 and 1 equals 4. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right.
It compounds like anything else. It compounds just like how you look at a financial gain or whatever. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you help more people, that's how you grow communities. People want to be in that community because they help each other. Like, ultimately, they give people a voice and they hear people, and that's how you grow those things. And I think there's a lot of startups that get very narrow-minded, and it's the best companies are the ones that speak to their customers, go to conferences, go and do. They just have like a curiosity and a pull to want to get to know people generally. Like, I don't care if they don't ever become a customer. They just generally want to know what they're doing. That's some of the biggest, best brands you see out there today all do that kind of stuff, even without looking like they're doing it, but they are.
100%, 100%. So let's say, can you think of an example of someone who's either a contributor or a user or a content reader? Give me a story where they've completely been enhanced by your product, if you will. So, meaning, again, maybe a reader who all of a sudden got an AI idea and all of a sudden now started a startup and they're worth $1 billion or whatever, pretending, right? Or a content creator who started doing content for you, started writing, and now has an audience of whatever, 1,000 people when they had 0 before. Can you give an example?
Well, I've got a few people. I wouldn't know. It'd be very hard for me to measure how much because they've got to put the work in as well. But people like Kieran, he was an advisor to us in the early days. Kieran Gilmurray, great guy within the automation world. He's gone on to speak at all sorts of conferences and advises companies like IBM and works with Intel and all the big brands and speaks at he spoke at like an investors conference and really helps people with those processes. And he's credited us at times of helping him meet new people. 2 people met up in Australia because of our platform. So they met each other through our platform, and university professor and Eric Unjan, who I met for lunch while I was in Sydney, beautiful guy and lovely guy. And there's probably countless stories that we've heard of. Like, we've heard about people making sales deals because they've seen, I haven't been too involved in them. I've just heard through their PR company or whatever that they've engaged in a deal together, or they've met each other because of us. And it'd be nice to hear more of those stories, and maybe it's something we need to do a bit more of. But I'm sure there's plenty more that exist like that. But there are people that have gone on to be featured in publications like Forbes and companies that have been mentioned in TechCrunch, and our reports that have been mentioned in places like Fortune, and all those places that have really bolstered their kind of brand profile because of something they wrote in our platform. But you're right. I need to find out more of those kind of stories because that's something that really is a good marketing technique for us, because those are just 3 that come to my head through the publishing, Kieran with his RPA world and building that up and meeting other people. And he's launched a book recently, which is great. And to people like Eric, who met a university professor that both connected on our platform. So there's a lot of that's exactly to my point earlier to what you were saying, kind of like the power of collaboration, right? Like bringing people together. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, especially in the world of AI, not to put down AI. Here I am, an AI guy, but I think people want to connect more. They want to see avatars. Later, they're going to really want to see avatars. But right now, I think people are kind of yearning for, connectivity and connecting on a human level. And I think that, community is pretty important in that regard. And I think that's going to happen with your group somehow, some way, some shape or form. People are going to be doing more collaboration, and what happens from that collaboration is exactly what you and I talked about. So, all right. So let's, by the way, once again, this is Ken French, Fast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. I'm hanging out with Tom Allen, who founder, the big shot, if you will, at the AI Journal. So let's get ready to close up shop. What's one thing we haven't talked about as far as, that you think would add value to an entrepreneur? May it be with AI, may it be with starting up a business similar to yours or what have you? What's something that you would give as kind of a little bit, dropping some knowledge to an entrepreneur?
Knowledge to an entrepreneur.
I like asking hard questions.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a good question. Dropping knowledge to an entrepreneur. I think, depending where they are, like I picked a very hard business to go build. Like media is a bloody hard business to go build something in because you've got strains of not having an actual product at times, or you have to have a lot of traffic, you have to have a lot of things to build up and prove and content and whatnot. It's not like you can just build a product that people can use. Well, I mean, you can, but like something that you can just implement straight away and can see the value from, I don't know, automating a workflow or whatever, like a piece of SaaS or buying a glass, like I can instantly drink out of it or whatever. But I would always think like, I don't know. My advice would probably be towards think who you're going to work with and think who you want to build your product for. Like it's really hard that I see a lot of people do, like trying to build something without any kind of honest communication behind it, and they get locked into the features and they get locked into the benefits. And I think it's a really simple message. There's lots of people that say this message, and it's something a lot of founders do. They get caught up in what they're doing with the product. And I think I'd probably be my best advice at the moment to really look at who you're trying to champion with your product or with your service or with your offering and with those kind of areas. Because I think the moment you start doing good for people, a lot of those people want to start doing good for you and they want to start seeing you succeed. And I think we're in a time where it's getting forgotten about, and to build those kind of products is becoming much more valuable because less people are doing it. They want to try and sell you the next feature or next glossy item, and it doesn't fit in with what you do on a day-to-day basis whatsoever. And they don't even want to spend. It's like I was listening to Bill McDermott, the CEO of ServiceNow. Incredible company, incredible CEO. What he's done now. I was fortunate enough to ask him a question at Knowledge like 3 years ago when I was at Knowledge in not Amsterdam, in the other city, The Hague. And just an incredible thinker, how he looks at not working backwards like the Jeff Bezos kind of ethos, but to just be so customer centric and understand what is it they're going through, what is that challenge that they're going through, and working around that, not trying to ship them some new fancy product. And I think I don't know for the B2C side and how that world works too thoroughly, to be honest, but for vendors and people I see building software and hacks, it gets forgotten about a lot. It really does. I mean, some people are young enough; they just want to go build some cool shit and see if people buy it. Like, fair enough. But if you're starting a proper long business, that would be my advice. Think about really how you're going to collaborate with people, how you're going to build a community up. And if you look at any big company, Zoom, Salesforce, I was at the Abbey conference earlier this week. I know it's not supposed to dates, but some time ago, and all those companies, they all focus on partnership ecosystems. And those are the big companies doing it. And they just constantly echo how important their partners are. And I mean, if that's what they're preaching, it's probably a good advice to start go build that community, that audience. And I think, fortunately, being in media, we've done that pretty quickly, but that would be my advice. Think of a model that you can build inside that's not just your product, something that makes people drawn to you, connects them with a problem, connects them with something. And people will buy your products as an offset and probably just have a very good mental image of you.
Yeah, I think collaboration within the AI world in any way, I think it's going to get people some eyeballs. And I think basically what you said, you answered that question perfectly. I think collaboration, client or customer centric viewpoint within the AI realm, having an AI spin. If you're a real estate agent, you have an AI spin on things and it's collaboration. I think it's going to equal money down the road. And everyone's saying, "Oh, I'm going to lose my job or I'm going to lose my some money to AI." I think if you do it correctly, people are going to be okay if they're adopting AI, collaborating. I think things will work out in the end.
Well, I was talking about this the other day. If you look at the stats of people that are employed, it's more people than ever before. Like the employment rate is the lowest it's ever been, like over history. And like you think how good we have it. Like I honestly don't see a world where, at least yet, where AI is going to take your job. Like AI is going to take jobs, but it's just like how machinery took jobs of farmers. Yet no one's here saying, "Oh, I wish I could go be a farmer." I never hear anyone say that. Like I'd look at someone like, "Really? That's what you want to?" Like some people obviously want to do that, but it's not something that comes up. And I think it'll be the exact same. Like, look at how much new business, how many new jobs, how much new free market has come about because of the internet. And because of social media and because of platforms like the iPhone revolutionized how we connect and how we build, and how many companies wouldn't be around today if it wasn't for building those products. Like if we're still stuck on flip phones, can you imagine how it interacts? Like how many, like whether a games provider or whether it's banking, all these things that have evolved because of one product that came in. AI is going to be like that and create all sorts of things you can't even think. Like, look at the space industry. Space industry is going to be massive. How do you think we're going to react when we can start traveling up to space and do all different things, or like how well we're connected? You give someone an internet connection, they can access free education and they can access a global market. They can start selling things for almost no money down. So it's, I really don't agree with that point. I think people get bored very easily, so we're always looking to build the next thing, and everyone still seems to have a lot to do. So I'm not the one that's thought I've got nothing to do anymore. Like it never happens. Like, you know.
I agree with that. I think there's going to be, maybe humans are going to be more at leisure. But I think that it's going to be a net benefit. Clearly there's going to be some ethical considerations, fake avatars, et cetera. But I think it's going to better humanity. I think that, AI combined with quantum computing is really going to help society and humanity overall. So I'm excited about the future. And that's partially the reason I asked my question about what you're going to be doing 10 years down the road. Because I think you're a visionary. You started doing AI before everyone else, just like we did. And I think that shows. I mean, this has been a great episode. I really do appreciate you taking the time to be here. I mean, it's been fun. I'm excited to watch you as the years unfold. Seriously.
Well, I'm excited to carry on these conversations, Kenna, and to get to know you better, because you've been really kind and gracious with your time toward me and coming on our platform and helping us build the next versions of it. So I really appreciate you as well, sir.
I dig it. All right, closing the doors now. Tom Allen of the AI Journal. Please go ahead and check out the AI Journal. You'll be glad you did. There's a lot of good content out there. And if you want to start writing and you're selected to write, you're going to get some business from it. It really is a good journal. I will say that without a doubt. Once again, this is Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.